Hey everybody, how are you? Happy Monday. Glad you could be here with me on this live and on replay. So today I want to talk about what every entry-level paralegal feels, or anybody entry-level going into the legal field in any kind of job feels in the beginning, and that is lack of confidence, nervousness, nervous energy, which nervous energy is good. And lack of confidence, that won't always be there. But the way to overcome lack of confidence is increasing your legal knowledge, okay? So, and increasing it to a point where when you are called for an interview, that you will know what you're talking about, okay? And if you sit there and you're in the interview and the person interviewing you is the only one asking questions, that's not a good thing, okay? Because what that says to them is that you won't ask questions as an employee. Whether that's right or not, that's what they will think. So what I teach in my Paralegal Inner Circle class are the questions to answer, as well as, you know, what questions they'll ask you, but also what questions you need to ask them. Okay, so that's part of it. But before you get to them calling you, before you get to going on an interview, you've got to increase your brain power, your legal knowledge. I know that sounds like a ridiculous term, brain power, but it is what you're doing. And sometimes we feel we're not capable, that we didn't do well in school, and so we can never shine, you know, but that's not true. That is, I can attest to you, that's not true. I was a BC student in school. I did not have any motivation to excel because not much was expected of me as a woman, a young woman in my family. Because this was old school European people who thought, well, the best you can do is that you will get married, and there's nothing wrong with that. I am married. But that was what they hoped for me, that would be my goal, see? So that's not what I thought. So I had to forge my own path. And I didn't become a paralegal and go into the legal field till I was in my 30s. So I had worked as a marketing secretary. I worked as an administrative assistant for a corporation. That was my nightmare job of my life. But it was because of the people, not the work. And increase your brain power, your legal knowledge at every turn. Don't wait for somebody to spoon feed you, because that's not going to happen. That doesn't happen in a law firm or government agency, a corporation. They don't train you like I was trained in fast food. I say this over and over again so it finally hits you, because people are assuming that that's what happens. I want you to increase your legal knowledge, AKA meaning increase your brain power, to increase your confidence level. So do you have to be 100% perfect? No, that's impossible. And as an entry-level person, you're not expected to be 100% perfect, but they expect you to know what you're doing. So that may shake you up a bit today, because I've had 2-year degree students who've gone through 2 years and don't feel like they know what they're doing, what's expected of them, because they weren't taught the practical side of being a paralegal. There's a whole thing missing out of curriculums, including a certificate program. And so there's a reason to be lacking confidence in that case, and rightly so. Because going in, you're lacking how to help the attorney, even with a 2-year degree or a certificate program. It's simply not taught, because it's taught by attorneys and not paralegals overall. Overall. If you're taught by a paralegal, you'll learn how to manage everything. But attorneys don't manage that paperwork, the calls to vendors, the calls to expert witnesses, the calls to attorneys on the opposite side, setting up depositions, and all these setting up hearings and all that stuff and knowing how to do it the right way. That's part of our job. That's only part of our job. So increasing your knowledge about, not just about the law, because we are not going into this job. You are not going in to be an attorney. You're going in to assist the attorney. So I've had people who have been managers in corporate or somewhere else, and they thought it was beneath them to make phone calls for the attorney, to type, to do dictation, you know what? This is not the career for that person. You've got to open your eyes to what the paralegals do. And the more you learn by watching my videos here and on the YouTube channel, go to my website, learn all you can there. Look at the stuff at the top of the website, paralegalcoffeetalk.com. Increase your knowledge at every turn about the areas of law you're interested in, not just one area. Open your mind to other areas and learn all about them, okay? Take notes in your notebook, your cheapy notebook. Take notes and remember where you found things that were just beyond exciting to you, that you learned a lot from that website. You have to bookmark it on your browser and keep notes about things, but don't keep notes about like multiple topics on one page. Have a page just for one topic so that you can find it later when you need it, okay? That's what a good paralegal does. So let me read you this declaration. I want you to think about this. Today I choose to approach life as an adventure by having a growth mindset. The evidence of being fully alive is that I am growing. God created me to stretch beyond my comfort zone and try new things, experience His creation, and live an amazing life. So what I'm talking about today is you're going to change your mindset, choose to see these opportunities for growth as wonderful challenges and not pain, and opportunities rather than setups for failure. The fear of failure is great in most humans, but if we can understand that that's where we learn often in the valley. So we got to have a takeaway from those failures, those flops. I've had many of them. A growth mindset, a willingness to try new things and put forth the effort to be great at them, to master them, will carry over into every area of your life. Becoming great as a paralegal will make you great in so many other areas. You'll never look at a contract in a different, you'll never look at signing a contract as something that you won't read. You will read every word of that contract because you've learned some things as a paralegal. So embracing a life of learning can improve your brain function, stretch your potential, and add joy to your life. Definitely will. And it increases your confidence level. Okay, so here's some things to think about. Explore areas that you did not think you could learn. For instance, I really struggled with, this is going to sound ridiculous, but with page numbering in Microsoft Word and how to change it up. I have to be honest, I didn't master it. Maybe you could master it, but I had trouble with it. WordPerfect was much easier in that regard. But Microsoft Word, I'm in it all the time. I know a tremendous amount about it and use it, but page numbering bogged me down. And I don't mean just putting the page numbers on. I mean in legal documents when you have to change at the end of the document and you want to add some other things at the end, and you have to number it differently, like it'll be Exhibit 1, Exhibit 2, Exhibit 3, that type of thing. So that I had to do workarounds for that, but that boggled my mind. So I challenged myself in other ways to learn how to do the table of contents, table of authorities, that type of thing, that are advanced skills. How to do a merge in Microsoft Word, merging addresses with a letter, okay, and pulling them together. Those are advanced skills in Microsoft Word. So if you're deficient in those areas and you know it, now's the time to get better at it and push yourself. Don't take months to do that. Take a week to do it. Push yourself. So explore something you didn't think you could learn. Try something. Now here's one for a lot of you on this page. Try something you think you're too old to learn or to do. And for some on my page right here, some of you listening, you think you're too old to go into this field, and you've convinced yourself of that. I'm here to tell you, a lady on my YouTube channel broke in, was a friend of hers, broke in at 65 years old. So what's anybody's excuse then? You know, so think about that. Stop just talking about it. That's number 3. And do the thing you've been planning to do someday. Do that thing. Okay? So the question for you is, what goal have you been putting off? You know, if you're thinking now, if you're a perfectionist, oh, and I can talk to that personality because I tend to be that at work. You can bog yourself down because of fear of failure, and you don't get anywhere, and you're like being stuck on the beach in beach sand, and you're just spinning your wheels. So you've got to go into this field with as much knowledge as you can possibly get in a practical way, that knowledge that will help the attorney. And then jump. Now, you know, I've been seeing jobs popping up. So this is the time you should be preparing. Join us in the Paralegal Inner Circle class. The registration starts on June 15th, next week, and open till the 22nd. Start preparing to learn from a paralegal. What specific steps can you take to reach that goal? Well, as I just said in this video in the beginning, learn all you can about certain areas of law. Track it in your notebook. What are you learning? Once you're on the job, I recommend highly that you track what you're learning in a notebook. Okay? I want you to look at everything you're learning before you go into the field and after. And I know you'll be busy. You'll be super busy once you get into your first job. But I want you to have that notebook by your side and write down those documents, not the client name, that's private, but what documents you know how to do. It will definitely come in handy later on. So what's that goal? And what's the something you can do today to reach that goal? With no more excuses, no more, I'm afraid I won't be enough. When you put the effort in, you will be enough. When you track everything you know right now and write it down, all your skills, everything you're bringing to the table, I want you always to think about, will this help the attorney? Will this help the attorney? And it can't be two things. It cannot be two things. It has to be multiple items. Multiple. So the more research you do, the more you're going to find out. And you will feel overwhelmed. Yay, that's normal. That's very normal to feel overwhelmed. You know you're right on track if you're overwhelmed. So don't say, okay, now it's time to stop because I feel overwhelmed. Get used to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel overwhelmed the first 2 months on the job. That's a normal feeling. And then you start to get traction, right? You're putting your car, your four-wheel drive into into operation after 2 months. It starts to click in. You start to understand the new lingo. And by the way, to understand that new lingo, when you're on my website at paralegalcoffeetalk.com, click on, at the top, click on bar charts. Also, while you're there, look at the 19 alternative paralegal careers list. Look at the free chapter of my book, Legal Break-In. That's for you. And you can also get the whole book. There's a tab for that, but you can get a free chapter. And then look at the Paralegal Inner Circle class info tab, and you'll learn more about the class that I'm talking about. That is imperative that you take that class, even if you're a 2-year degree student, a certificate person, or you just have a high school diploma, or you have a degree in something else. You need the Paralegal Inner Circle class, okay? So the thing today is, perfection is not possible in life. It is especially not possible as an entry-level paralegal. You've got to learn a bunch, and then you're going to jump. And you're going to hold, you'll be holding your breath, and then you're going to fly. But it's going to take 2 months on the job before you get that, okay, I'm ready to fly feeling. I'm getting this. Little by little, you will get it. You'll learn a lot by taking my class, but then you're going to start. The minute you're in my class, my recommendation is to start building your cover letter. You put a shell up, and then I teach you a whole bunch about that. But you get a lot of legal knowledge and paralegal knowledge about how to manage all the cases. When 415 rolls around today, watch the graphic that I put up. It has a guy on there with a stack of papers, and look at what it says. Because this is a big part of what we do in organizing to the max. So while I don't like organizing, but I have to at home, and I do it all during the day, I don't like it, but at work, I'm in my element. So, and it's something that we don't have an option. We can't let anything go as paralegals. We're running the engine of that law firm by being high organizers and communicators. Even if we're introverts, we're still communicating and asking questions. And we're on the phone. I had someone say to me, please don't tell me that I have to be on the phone. That's what I couldn't stand about my last job. That's what somebody said. And I said, that's what paralegals do. We're on with the clients, we're on with vendors, we're on with expert witnesses, we're on with a lot of different people, with other attorneys, other paralegals, business owners. If your attorney does certain types of law, business owners. So we have to handle a lot of communication duties. So learn all you can beforehand, before you make the jump. Don't send your cover letter and resume out, just the same cover letter and resume out to all these law firms. They know what you're doing. And that's like throwing a spitball up to the ceiling and you're throwing 10 of them up to see which one will stick. That does not work in the legal field, okay? So understand that you have to explain how you're going to help that attorney, and not just in the interview, okay? So any questions, comments while you have me on here live, please post. If I'm not seeing it, it's because Facebook is hiding the comments. They do that sometimes. So if you have any questions and you're asking them and I don't see it, then I'll answer them later. Or you can go and join us in the Paralegal Break-In group. That's for people who are not in the legal field. It's really weird, but I have people who have worked in the legal field, who are currently in the legal field trying to get in that group. And you all know how many times I say on the video, it's for people who are not in the legal field, never worked in it. That's who that group is for definite reasons I operated that way. So come into the paralegal group if you meet that criteria, but answer the questions that I ask, okay, when you try to join. So that is it for today. Loved being with you live. It's really rainy, cloudy here today, so I'm surprised the Wi-Fi is even working. And hang in tight. Keep going forward. Keep doing your best. You're going to get there, and you're going to do well. And anything you learn will boost your confidence, but keep track of it right here in the notebook, okay? It's what I do too, and I have folders full of my notes because I refer back to them when I need to, okay? Have a great one. Any comments, questions, post them somewhere on the paralegal break-in group, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.